So as most of you who watch my videos weekly already know, I've been in Hong Kong for quite a while already, 17 years in fact. So it's about time that I shed a quick spotlight on local Hong Kong watch manufacturing. My last few videos have been about German watchmaking, so today I want to talk about a young local Hong Kong watch brand called Behrens that designs, develops and manufactures watches locally in Hong Kong, not in China. So first I'll share a few words about the brand background and where it gets its influences from horology and how they are even able to develop in-house modules, and then we'll do a hands-on on 4 different models and why I think this watch brand deserves the spotlight. Hi everyone and welcome, I'm Ben. So Behrens, I'm sure 99.9% of you out there, I never heard of the brand. And to be honest with you, up until last week when my colleague introduced me to the brand at work, I had never heard of them either. But if you go by the brand's website, which is behrens2012.com, this is a local Hong Kong brand established in, I'm guessing, 2012 that designs, develops and manufactures all their pieces in their own local production facilities in Hong Kong, not in China. So at the very beginning they were using a lot of Miyota movements, but more recently with their newer models they have moved to real ETA 2824 base calibers, and they also developed their own in-house modules on top of that, which I think is totally acceptable given their brand positioning and their price. I'm totally fine with using 2824 as a base. So last year in 2020 they had submitted 2 of their models, the Rotary and then the Apolar, to the GPHG, and they were actually nominated. Now they didn't win, Tudor won obviously, but I think it's a very good start to the brand. Also you get 3-year warranty with this brand, which is more than a lot of others can do. And in terms of a distribution network, they are distributed mostly in APAC, in Hong Kong, in China, Korea, Taiwan, I think Japan, which is I think the reason why if you're based in Europe or in North America you probably have never heard of them. But they are available on their online shop if you choose to order one directly. I would describe the brand as a mix of modern and traditional with heavy influences from horology independence. There are obvious influences from brands like MB&F or URWERK. Last week when my colleague showed me the Rotary watch, I immediately thought of URWERK, and then I saw the Apolar and I thought MB&F. So the influences are there obviously, and even in the lugs, when you look at the lugs, they remind me of Voutilainen lugs, which I mentioned in a previous video. And then there's the crystal. The crystal remind me of Resonance crystals, especially when you look at them from the sides. So the influences are there, and I think it's great because you can get a taste of this extremely expensive horology independence, but at a lot friendlier budget. So now, are they at the level of an MB&F or URWERK? Of course not, but I think it's fun and creative, independent watchmaking that gives you a taste of those independents for a lot lower price. So, it's not another micro brand doing, I don't know, a vintage inspired diver or another chronograph, which is usually what they all do, and they are doing something different, and I applaud their effort. So now let's go hands-on. I went to one of the 80s and they had 4 models on display. So this is not meant to be an in-depth review, but I just want to share my first-hand impressions of them. Most of their models are actually space-inspired, which is why here they had the Astronomer, and then the Space Traveler, the Apolar, and the only one that's not space-related was the Rotary B022. So let's start with the Astronomer. So this one is one of their earlier model that was based on a Miyota movement. So it's 42 millimeter in diameter with a Miyota base, and it offers the vibes, I think, of an H. Moser Endeavour flying hours. It has those sapphire crystal subdials to give the time, also on an aventurine dial base. So I think it's quite good for the price of $2,135 US, and that's retail price on which you'll certainly be able to get a good discount. The second one on display is the Space Traveler, which is also one of the earlier models, so it also comes with a Miyota base caliber. This one obviously gives me the vibe of the Freak from Ulysse Nardin, with its very creative time display. It's obviously not the same thing as the Freak, but you get this idea. This one comes on a bracelet, so it looks like titanium, but it's actually 316L stainless steel with an IP gunmetal coating on it that looks like titanium. It's actually quite cool. It, I think, emphasizes that space kind of feel. The bracelet is not bad, it's a pin bracelet, but the clasp, I have to say, is quite nice because it's very thin and you don't feel it on your wrist. It has no micro adjust though. So it's also 42 mil in diameter, and I think it fits quite well on my wrist. I think if you want the feel of a freak, but it's only $2,160 on a strap or $2,650 in this configuration on the bracelet. It's a good price for what I could call a cheap freak. The third one is the Apolar, or Apolar in French, as it's written on the rotor of the movement on the backside. So this one, I have to say, is my favorite of the bunch by far. It was one of the 2 nominations at GPHD 2020, and this one gives you very strong vibe of MB&F, especially I think in the dial layout. So it is 42 mil diameter again. This one has a ETA base 2824 with an in-house module that they built on top to display the time and also the Earth and the position of the moon around the Earth. And I think that's what's cool here. The Earth located at the center will rotate on its own on 24 hours, and then you will have the position of the moon that will go around it in a cycle of 28 days. So this is not random, this is actually showing you the exact position of the moon around the Earth. I think that's quite cool. Then you have this ice blue dial that's maybe reminiscent also of a Rolex kind of platinum ice blue dial. You have that very domed crystal, resonance crystal that I like. You have those Voutilainen lugs. It's not a Miyota, so I think this one, for the price of $3,155 US, I was quoted a price of about $2,500. You really get that feel of high horology on a budget here. So this one is available both on a champagne, brown champagne dial or the ice blue dial. This is a limited edition of 200 pieces for both colored dial, and so that makes it even that much special. So the last one is the Rotary B022, which is their latest and most expensive creation in their current catalog. So this was also one of the 2 nominations at GPHD 2020, and I think they're very proud of this one, and rightfully so. So it's also 42 mil in diameter, because basically they all come with the same case and built on an ETA 2824 base with an in-house module on top. But they don't just drop, the 2824. This is actually quite well finished, and it comes with, the triangular rotor shaped at the back. They've changed it. This one is built on the reinterpretation of the idea of the rotary engine with a central shaft and those 2 triangular shape that gives you the hour and the minute display. So when I first saw this one, this is the one that made me think of URWERK immediately. And what I didn't know is that actually back in 2008 or 2009, apparently, there was a collaboration between MB&F and URWERK that used the same idea of the rotary engine, and they came up with a watch that looked very similar at the time. So I didn't know that, and probably I had seen it, and subconsciously it came back in my mind, and I knew that this was very URWERK and B&F-esque, and that was right. So the idea may not be new, but the fact they are able to do something like this this one is 4,155, I think, on a strap, and 5,750 on a bracelet is quite good. So the price are starting to creep up a little bit now, but I was quoted about $3,500 for this one, which I think is still very good for what it is and how well it is finished. Now, just a few words about a 5th model which they did not have in store but is soon to be released. It's called Project One. And this one is crazy. So this one is built on an SW200 Celita base with an in-house module, and it will give you the time on Earth and on Mars. And it looks like a crazy machine. So this is a concept I think that also the German brand Fortis has done, giving you the time both on Mars and on Earth. But the way they've done this, it looks really out there. The price is also creeping up. It's $7,980 US, so it's quite expensive, but I think it shows the development of the brand, and it's reaching its next stage. And when I see what they are doing now, I can only imagine what they're going to be doing in the future, and I can definitely see them taking the path of an URWERK, for example. So in conclusion, I think it's great to see creative independent watchmaking daring to do something different. It's not going to be high horology level of finishing here, but for about $2,500 to $3,500 US, I think you get a lot of watch. And the fact that it's built on Miyota or ETA 2824 base, it's not going to cost an arm and a leg to service, and it's going to be easily serviceable. So, how do you feel about a brand like Behrens? Contact me if you want one. Let me know what you think in the comments. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe for more, and I'll see you in the next one.